Okay, so I did. Look at that. It's hard to get in there because this one's right. So sick. So I went ahead and started sanding these at 400, and I got it like 80% flat, and I still had dimples. That there was no way I actually ended up sanding too close to the carbon fiber on one of these pieces. Um, I'll show you when it dries before I start the next sanding. So I went ahead and cleaned them up with some dentured alcohol, got all the dust off. You can see the dust on my car. And so I went ahead and I've done 2 coats so far. I'm going to do a 3rd coat just to make sure it is thick and on there good enough that when I do this next, I can make sure to go all the way to 4000 grit sandpaper and then have a good polish, and it should look just like this. After I do the 2K, it'll have this nice pretty look to it. So here's the other one. You can kind of see the waviness in it, but it's a lot smoother now, so it's not going to take as much to sand it flat. And yeah, so far I've gotten 7 coats of epoxy on it altogether after the carbon fiber has been laid and it clear over it. 7 more coats. So by the time I get this last coat on there for the 3rd coat tonight, that'll be a total of 8 coats. And I also got 2 more in, so I'll go ahead and start the process of laying and doing these 2, and I'll make a video from start to finish, hopefully with the GoPro, and edit and everything and make like a time lapse and get that posted. That way I can show you guys everything. It's going to be a long time coming though, because between what's going on in the home life and how long it takes, with 8 hours of cure before you can sand and everything, it's going to be a long video. So expect that to come up, but it'll be a little while before that comes up. But I will make sure I get these knocked out and then do, part 5 and 6 or whatever it takes. And then I'll mount them on the car, show you guys what they look like on the car and everything. I mean, it sucks that the video doesn't do that piece justice, but it is super sick. I kind of thought about doing like 2 clears and then doing 2 mattes, so that way in the back it would go clear, matte, clear, matte. Kind of look a little different. And eventually I want to take this vinyl off, because it's not in the best shape and it's time for it to come off anyways. So I'm either going to take this off and do a carbon fiber vinyl, or maybe I'll just sand it down and epoxy and skin this in the honeycomb. That would be super sick. Do the honeycomb skinning on this. I also want to do the fenders, but definitely gonna have to find a different set of fenders from somebody else and then do those, so that way I don't wreck a good set of fenders that has nothing wrong. And then I also want to do the mirrors. And this piece right here. This, I don't know. I can buy one pre-done for $200. I think with my sponsorship discount from RPG, it'd be like $180 or something like that. Or maybe it's $220, and with my discount it'd be $200. But anyways, that's kind of the game plan. I want to leave these blue though, just like OEM, but instead of having this metal black, have it carbon fiber. And I'm starting to get some orders coming in for people that want me to make molds for them on their street bikes and stuff and do carbon fiber for them, which is cool because it'll help me get a little extra money in the account. But I want to do my wife's CBR and do all of her fairings in carbon fiber, like legitimate, make mold and vacuum form the carbon fiber and not hand lay or skin anything. I mean, I think that would be super sick, but she doesn't really like the looks of the carbon fiber, so I'm trying to do all this cool crazy stuff with it, just try and turn her on to it. But regardless, I'll be doing something with this Super Duke though. I want to make the molds for these front shrouds right here and do those out of carbon at least. And then I want to do this front fender and do it just like the OEM is, where it's got matte and then clear gloss, and do that both in honeycomb, so that way got the matte honeycomb and then you got the clear honeycomb. I think that would look pretty sick. The only problem with doing this stuff on the motorbike is these divots that are way down in there. So those are the only fun part. That would be hard or whatever. I could definitely do those. And it's just a cheap mesh. KTM didn't go all out with that or anything, so maybe I'll do those too. You don't want to do too much stuff in carbon fiber though, just enough that it looks cool and pops. But that chain guard right there is definitely something's going to happen with that. Maybe I'll make a mold for that. But the motorbike, RPG's interested in doing all this stuff out of carbon fiber, so trying to work a deal out where I just strip my bike and send it over there, and then they make all the parts and pieces and send me back my plastics as well as a set of everything in carbon fiber, my choice for sending them all the stuff to get done. And then they'll have the molds and everything, and they'll be able to replicate it and make everything out of carbon fiber for people. Because I know the market's there, and there's only a few companies that do the Super Dukes in carbon fiber. And I mean, some of the stuff is reasonable, but the other stuff is just insane, Like this isn't really the gas tank. It's like a cover that goes over the gas tank, and the gas tank sits underneath this. So there's one company that makes this out of carbon fiber, but they do not, it's not like by year. They just kind of make a universal one, and they're like, oh, you might have to mod it to fit your bike. So anyways, I've also thought about sanding this out and then hitting it with some 2K clear coat and seeing what it looks like to see if I want to stay matte or go clear on it. But I don't know. I really like the matte. It looks sick. So got the wing stiffies. Then we're gonna do mirror caps. Gotta make molds for those and then make those. that stupid vinyled out door. That needs to get done. The rear roof vane. That needs to get done. But my whole end goal is to be able to do all this red stuff in real carbon fiber. So all this stuff is practice to be able to do interior. Because that's really where it's at, right? That's where all the cool stuff is. And I think the honeycomb would go great with all the titanium that I have. So stay tuned for the next updates on the carbon fiber. And I'm going to be ordering up some more epoxy and the green camo carbon fiber. And we're going to do this whole mini pocket bike out of carbon fiber. So that's what my son wants, and that's what we're going to do. I'm still up in the air about whether or not we're going to actually make it out of carbon fiber, or if we're just going to skin this. Might just skin it to save some time and be done with it. So it just sucks because we'll have to pull all the frickin' stickers and stuff off, and yeah. So have a good night, YouTube.